Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Blue Gear and Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus your video game enthusiast and industry analyst. I just got done, Thursday mornings I do boxing, and I'm always cutting it close. But kids have started school, so I think I timed it out so well. Woke up super early, set up the stream, went boxing, came back, able to say bye to the kids, took a shower because boxing makes me dirty, and then made my drink. So yeah, let's get into this. And luckily, because I got up early, I prepared some news items. So morning autonomous. Oh yeah, there's Fluffy right there waiting for mom to get back. Yeah, let's get into it. Oh man, just taking this second to relax. This is delicious after workout. This is a whey protein sour watermelon drink. It has ice in it, so it's almost like fruit juice or something. I don't know. It's pretty good. Anyway, yeah, that was our oldest named her when he was only like, wow, yeah, 5 or 6. Because yeah, Fluffy is an older dog. What's cool about our cat, Zelda, is that was her name at the adoption facility or rescue facility, whatever you call it, where they have cats to rescue, and her name was Zelda. I don't know if they named her that, but I remember when my wife got her, she's like, what do you want to name her? It was Zelda, and I was like, that's what we keep. No, and then Daisy, our husky, my youngest named her. He wanted to name her after a Mario character. He just didn't want to do Princess Peach or anything like that. Daisy, I think, was a good one. So I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, interesting stuff yesterday. So for one, Gradius Origins, yes, still playing. I got 11 hours and 10 minutes. I've actually completed every achievement in that game. So I have 100% of that game. Some of the achievements are a little difficult. One of them is when you're playing Life Force, the Japanese version, to have all the shields on. There's 4 shields you can have on total, and it's very hard to do. Although my first try last night of a new way to do it worked. It's basically when you're playing Life Force, I think it's either the first full level or the first 2 levels, I forget, just max out everything except shields and then save your shields for last. In fact, there's this vertical section that happens in Life Force. The first vertical section you get to, I wouldn't use any shields, or even if you get items, don't use them. Just have your special on the shield, so then when you're past that vertical section, because all it is asteroids and it just destroys your shields, the next part you can put on the shields. Now what happens is by the end of that next part, you can get up to 3 shields, but then there's this dragon boss that's annoying to fight. But I was able to figure out how to time. It's a little dragon snake that he gets close to. It's easy to dodge. It's just that it hits the shields. So it was a matter of making sure he didn't hit my shields. And then that next section, the first power-up I got gave me my shields, and I got the achievement. That was hard to do. And it makes me think how hard it is probably in that game to just get 4 shields in Life Force. Okay. Anyway, I am super pumped that I beat Gradius Origins, got all the achievements. I'm going to do the same on PC because I bought it on PC also. I just love the game. And then here's another one. So Eartheon, that was one. And it's funny to see Eartheon came. I was so excited to play it. I only played about 2 hours. Whereas Gradius, it's 11. It's so strange how these two work. But the difference is Gradius is technically 6 or 7 games. Eartheon is just 1 game. And that's kind of the difference here. So Gradius, there's more I can do. Oh, I'm done with Life Force. I'll go to Salamander. And then they have the brand new Salamander 3, which is the main game that you would play. Eartheon has a problem. It had an update that came out and it changed the language to Japanese, which isn't bad. There's an option to switch it back, but it doesn't stay for me. And there's multiple other online. And it's like, well, that's not bad because then you just play the game. Well, once I load into the level, like I'm already in the menus, I can switch to English, but it doesn't stay. And once I get into the game, the controls don't work anymore. I can press start or select and it brings up the emulation menu. Because what it is Eartheon is developed on the Genesis. So on Steam, you're actually playing, or on PC, Steam, you're playing a emulated version because it's a ROM that is packaged in an emulator. I don't know if that has to do with the bugs that we're coming across, but that explains why I'm having that controller issue. So it's really weird. I'm a little disappointed that that happened, only because I was like, okay, I've got Gradius out of my system. Let's go back to Eartheon, get the rest of the achievements, and I can't. I'm disappointed. On the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, which again, it's unfortunate that that's how it shows what you're playing on Nintendo. But I was playing the SNES Earth Defense Force, which I totally forgot like that I had played this. It is hard as heck. It's one of those hard ones. And what I gotta hand it to Nintendo with this Nintendo Switch Online is every game has a built-in rewind feature. And it's like, I used to be so opposed to rewind, and lately I feel like I like it because what the rewind feature is allowing me to do is actually spend my time more with a game and play through it, because it's like, oh, I can rewind to correct a mistake so then I can get further into the game. And a lot of it just has to do with, time management. I want my experiences to consistently be novel, but they can't if I'm having, that's why the roguelikes I'm getting tired of. It's if I'm repeating the same thing over and over, it gets tiring. So with shmups, the part that's hard for me is when I die and then you have to like kind of start over, but then it's like, oh, I just have to master these levels, which is key. But I've learned through the rewind mechanic, playing Gradius Origins and other games, that you do still master these levels because you're almost breaking them apart by being able to rewind, fix something. So when you go back and play, it's almost like there's more that you filled in of that space of that level to be like, oh, I know this is going to happen. Like in Life Force, there's these flames that will come out sporadically from the top and bottom. And it's like, now I know, because I would die, rewind. It's like, oh, now I know what's in the spot, so I know when to dodge. But anyway, this game is really hard because you have like 3 shields and then it's game over. It's pretty fun to play, but I wouldn't be able to play it if it wasn't for the rewind. And it's still hard even with the rewind. Anyway, there's that. So going back to what I was playing, and that was about it. I didn't play too much yesterday. What else did I do yesterday? To be honest, it's been tough here. And I don't mean, well, let me just say the heat. The heat in Texas in our area is so bad that it is just hot in the house. And there's only so much the AC can do. The electric bill is insane because running the AC. And so we have to kind of strategically use different parts of the house, set up the fans in certain areas. But this doesn't last all year. That's what's so crazy. It's like most of the time, 80% of the time, maybe even 90% of the time, because it's really only like July to August this happens. Any other time, I feel like it's just the perfect setup in this house. Like when we have to heat up the home, doesn't take much to do it in the winter. In fact, a lot of times we'll just bundle up with blankets. But it gets so hot here. And so yesterday I get off work and then we're just sitting on the couch. I put on Naked Gun 2, talk to the kids about how school was. And we're just kind of sitting there fanning ourselves like, so that was really about it yesterday. The thing is, I am actually super stoked about some games that are coming out right now and this weekend. Let me do something real quick, because one of the things sometimes I mess up with is, especially on the days when I work out, I have to like read redo this whole setup. Let me move this in more, and then this in more. Okay. All right. Okay, I want to look at this real quick. Am I logged in? Okay. I'm going to see if there's any sales. There was that Toplan. Okay, here we go. There's the Volume 1 collection. It's still not out yet. Let me actually do a search real quick to see if there's anything online about it yet. If it says pre-order or just direct download. So it looks like it's out already. And it doesn't look like it's coming to Steam, which is pretty interesting. They have their own thing, which is actually pretty good. Wait, is it only 4 games? Never mind. I was like, that's pretty good. So these games are in this collection that's coming out on Xbox. It says, okay, it's everything but PC. And look at that. And this is just Volume 1, but it had those games I was just showing you plus more. This is an awesome collection. I was just hoping there would be some sort of sale or deal. You know, it still says coming soon. It is $34.99. I'll wait a second. I really do want that though. Anyway, let's go to, is that the first one or Volume 2? Okay. Let's look at some news, shall we? Oh, what's this chat? Jonas, my friend I played with on CFC2 reported a crash in the online version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, but I never experienced a crash yet, so we're in good shape for the game so far. That's cool that you're mentioning that because I have been in the mood for playing some Alpha 3, and I think it's in one of those collections that I need to grab. But I don't play online too much, actually. I'll play online sometimes on the arcade 1-up I have of the Street Fighter. I get my butt kicked every time. It's fun, though. I actually don't mind because a lot of times I'm like, okay, well, then what move should I figure out with this guy? Or girl. Never know. Okay. News real quick. PlayStation Plus game catalog and classics catalog lineup for August 2025. So I don't pay for PlayStation Plus, although the other day I went to go play Godzilla PS4 online because I still have to get that trophy. And it's like, no, you need PlayStation Plus. And I was like, do I? Okay, let me do something again real quick. Reset, transform, reset, crop. I'm just going to make this look a little better. Okay. But Earth Defense Force 6 is actually on PlayStation Plus. I almost bought that the other day. It was on sale. Let me see if it's still on sale. So you could buy it on PC for $23 or pay for PlayStation Plus. And again, it depends if you have both or not. But then like Mortal Kombat 1, I played a little bit of it, would like to play it. Spider-Man Remastered's pretty good. I think if you have a PlayStation, you might already have that. There's the Unicorn Overlord, which I hear a lot of good things about. So it's pretty cool. But again, there's nothing that really pushes me to have PlayStation Plus. I think if PlayStation had more of their older games available, like from PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, I would for sure be subscribed to PlayStation Plus. I don't know. Anyway, that's there. That's cool. That is. Okay, here's something. Shout out to Ultronymous for posting the date because I was just, and he was even talking about, we were just talking about R-Type, and I was just actually looking at my wish list the other day. Like, there's not a date for this. November 20th. I love that time frame because I don't know what else is coming out then I'd play. So it's good that we're getting this other shmup, but it's basically R-Type Delta. And I guess it's just wait, Japanese release on the okay. Day and date with the Japanese release. So yeah, it still says coming soon on here. So it's really cool that they did this because as far as I know, it's just R-Type Delta, just HD'd. Let me see if it talks about. Yep. Look, of course, the game also comes equipped with modern quality of life improvements. I like how they're really focused on the story because I tend to not care. But lately, especially after playing Gradius, I'm more interested in what these stories are about because I like these side-scrolling space shooters, but I think the other layer to it is I like space combat. Like just the thought of space fighters and space combat. That's why I like Star Wars, Gundam. So there's multiple reasons why I would get into these games, and I think I would appreciate them more if I got into the story. Anyway, it says quality of life improvements, but it's actually not saying what they are, but I bet it's a rewind or something. What's interesting is R-Type Final 2 and 3 don't have any of these features. It has a slowdown feature. That's about it. Let me go to the discussion, see if anyone's talking about it. Einhander, everyone, it's funny. It doesn't matter what shmup re-release discussion you go into, people are always asking for another game. Gradius Origins are like, where's Gradius 5? Although I agree. And then this one, Einhander, which is fun. I think, I almost feel like this is an overrated shmup, and I don't know if it's because it's Square that made it. I think it's fun. I used to own it, but okay. Let's see. Nothing, I guess. Yeah, some of the people are just complaining about stuff, but let's see. Oh, they're saying Delta is horror themed. That's cool. But yeah, not that really has to do anything. Okay, well, cool. All that got figured out. Actually, July 30th. Yeah, I didn't even know the date was there. Yeah, like, wait a minute. This is the same website, but I guess just saying it's the West release date's the same. Hey, Jim Killex, good to see you. Ultronus, I have the original Spider-Man, so I get original Garfield-looking Peter. Yeah, I've always found that to be odd. I still find that to be odd that they changed the actor and all that. Okay, like I almost feel like this might not make any sense, but I'm just going to say it anyway. As cool as the Spider-Man game is, I don't think it's as good as Sony thinks it is, or the. I mean, I feel like it's a fine game, but I think it's bloated with a lot of nonsense. Again, every time I go back into um, Spider-Man 2, which I haven't beat yet, there's some walking mission I'm doing, and I'm like, golly. Yeah, I don't know. And that's that thing Sony has had issues with, is really understanding how much of their gaming is storytelling and how much of it is gaming. But I don't know. R-Type is always a horror game if you're thinking about it. You know what? Even Gradius, because of all the fleshy, yeah, it's interesting. I do think with the Bido Empire in R-Type is more of that. Yeah, that's cool. I like to think of it that way. Okay, let's see what else. What other news did I have up? Oh yeah, some information about Resident Evil Requiem seemed pretty interesting. Open level areas will have a vehicle to travel around, possibly a motorbike. Huge innovations were made to Leon's combat. And then Zero Remake got some sort of dev reboot last year. New mainline, big budget. RE game in 2029, 2030. Well, that makes sense. But this just goes back to I need to finish Resident Evil Village. But you know what? The feeling I got from Resident Evil Village when I was playing it was I am playing the mechanics rather than I'm playing the game. Because when you're in that one village area where it's like, oh, you can't go this way, you have to go this way to find this thing to go over here and undo this. It almost, I was almost pulled out of the Resident Evil horror experience. More of, okay, here's the gamification of this, and that's interesting. And I don't know if that's why I stopped playing it, but I kind of want to finish it before the new one. But okay. And then I think there's more about that. Yeah, it's Leon's last major role. Embargo lifts August 20th. The game will be shown at Tokyo Game Show. Both Leon and Grace play big roles. So, what I liked from this last one is huge innovations were made to Leon's combat. I don't know what that means, but I like the sound of that. And I know a lot of people didn't like what Resident Evil 6 did because it almost went more into the action. You know, what if it is like that? What if by having these two characters, which I think is a good thing for video games to do, that has been a thing, but games aren't really embracing it. You know, like Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, two characters. You can use them both at the same time or one or the other. And, you know, even with Steven of Midnight Hatter, we were talking about like this idea for third-person game, and I think it was more of like his ideas, really. But it was like it would be like, think if you had Helldivers, but the people you were with were other characters that you were also outloading, controlling. Like, how much of when you're playing a video game is that avatar you, or how much of it is you're playing the game so then you can have multiple, like an RTS? That's another discussion for another time. But anyway, so if they had both Leon and Grace, what I'm thinking is Grace will play more of the Silent Hill style horror, and Leon will be more of the action horror. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Okay, let's. Having named characters can make faceless NPCs feel more real. Yeah, and I think that's what. And then that would be the idea. Like, let's say, and this also reminds me of Alien Infestation on Nintendo DS, because you would have a group of Marines that each had their own name. When you would die, you would just be the other one. It was, you know, there was like another way to do the whole thing. I don't know how to explain. Not like Spider-Man, where then you're Mary Jane and all that is a stealth section. Okay. I went back here to, what is that? Okay, I came back because there's like no more news. I'm scrolling down here if there's something new that in the past few minutes or hours since I've been boxing. See if there's any other. Snoopy. You know, there's a Snoopy World War I flight combat game on Xbox 360, and it's pretty fun. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up. Snoopy Flying Ace. Completed any mode with 20 plus kills and no deaths. Multiplayer only. Hell yeah. Completed a game of dogfight. Earn 100 kills from the turret. This is a good game, the Snoopy Flying Ace. And then I forgot about Snoopy's Grand Adventure. Oh my gosh, this is bringing back memories. Let's open this up real quick. Was this a shmup? Or was it just a side-scrolling? I need to get back to this. Not that I care about Snoopy or anything, but I've learned with these smaller IPs like Smurfs, the developers will actually make a pretty fun game. Wow, there's a DS version. Interesting. Okay, well, I played 19 minutes of that on PlayStation 4. I'll have to re-download it. Unless it was a disc. Because, yeah, that might have been a disc. Because sometimes I rent. I was renting from GameFly a lot. Anyway, Snoopy Flying Ace, definitely underrated game. It's like Crimson Skies. Like Snoopy is just the coat of paint on it. Vehicular combat game. And was it only Xbox 360? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So there's so many people that have not even played this. Whoa. An unofficial sequel. Oh, is an unofficial sequel to Snoopy vs. Red Baron, which I didn't even know that existed. That was on PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 2, and Windows. So then interesting that they made... Yeah, here we go. Where it drew comparisons to Crimson Skies. Yeah, so... Underrated game. I should go through and beat it. It's pretty crazy. And you know what? That might be all I have, guys. Let me real quick see if there's anything new in gaming leaks or rumors, but that might be today's show. New Tales remaster. Okay. Yeah, the other thing too is I'm seeing a lot of, Black Ops 7 stuff, which, man, this is the first. I think this is the least I've ever cared about Call of Duty since when they redid the World War I and World War II a few years ago, and I just didn't play that one, even though it's like I wanted to. And then to contrast, this type of FPS, there's also Battlefield 6, which I don't know if you guys have heard, but, and I did download it on my Xbox. I'll have to try it later. For Battlefield 6, there's been a lot of positive feedback coming out of it. Even, David Jaffe was breaking it down on his channel, but he was just talking about how it really plays completely different than Call of Duty, which that's always the case. But I want to keep that in mind because I feel like I'm kind of getting a little fatigued of Call of Duty right now. I would love to have another little first-person shooter I'm playing. That was such a great moment 2 years ago with Call of Duty where I had just started playing it, and I'm like, man, I hope they have an Ash skin one day. And they happen to have an Ash skin. And I just couldn't believe it. I think there was a universe speaking to me directly. I really feel like that. It's just too crazy. And then they had the Doom shotgun, and I had so much fun running around Call of Duty with the Doom shotgun. There's special moments that can be created sometimes with games that makes them fun. All right, well, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. I don't really have too much more. I'll be back tomorrow, and I will have a new game to play tomorrow. I just don't know which one yet. I want to figure out. It might be one of the Toplin arcade collections. There's two of them. They're each $34.99, so I'm not going to buy them both right away. So it might be one of those. Or we'll see. I think there's a few other games flying under the radar. We'll check, but... All right, guys. You have a good one. We will talk later.